All right, guys, and welcome back. My name is D-Free, and for today's video, we're talking all about this new announcement posted in the news for Dragon Ball Legends. Hold up. We know a lot of you guys don't read the news. All right, so it's in the news. There's also some announcements on social media, so obviously it's spreading around, and I want to talk about it, and we'll see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you're new, hit that subscribe, stick around for more content, and also click that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. That being said, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think this is. So I have a few things that I want to kind of show you guys and a few ideas that I have, and also we're going to compare kind of what's happening right now to what's happened in the last couple of years in terms of character releases. And then last but not least, I also had some other ideas that I'll just discuss with you guys in terms of what I think this could be. But let me know, like I said, down below, you guys think it is. I had a few more ideas, but as I woke up, got my day started, started doing other things, I kind of forgot. It's just to be completely transparent. I'm only human. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice about this campaign is that it's actually kind of weird. And what I mean by that is they're doing this countdown medal here. So basically the campaign is on until the 17th. That's when the announcement goes away. So it's a couple of weeks. I've been playing the game for as long as it's been out. I can't remember a single time, and I could be misremembering, so correct me if I'm mistaken. I can't remember a single time they've hidden the rewards. Okay, anytime there's some sort of countdown to something, they pretty much tell us what it is. They're not this, like, you know, sketchy about it. They kind of just tell us what it is. They tell us they at least tell us what the rewards are. Like, what are they hiding behind these countdown medals? You know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird for sure. So that's the first thing you'll notice, is that this is very, very hush hush. So outside of that, though, they will be available. Well, what they say is here is that they'll convert or whatever, and they show you a little bit about the exchange shop, the missions that are going to be tied into this, because you could even continue earning these medals outside of just logging in. So that's pretty interesting. All right, now, like I said, the announcement goes away on the 17th, and that means that night at 11 p.m. Pacific time for me, they will be showing us the next announcement or releasing whatever they're hinting to or whatever the case is. So whenever there's announcements in the game, I like to see what kind of starts going away at that same time, things like that. And what I'll tell you is pretty much everything is going away on the 17th or 18th that we have currently in the game. This new season that started with PvP will be going away the following day. Which I guess maybe they'll announce reveals and stuff. Maybe that takes us to the 18th. I don't know. That's a possibility. But like a lot of the stuff that's currently in game goes away that week, that same day, the day prior, or even kind of goes away the following week if it's like one of these summon banners or whatever. So that's the first thing you'll kind of notice, is that a lot of stuff currently going on, especially as it pertains to the Powerful Opponent campaign, will be ending at that time. Now, the campaign will still be kind of going, because the event for like Super 17 will still be up until the 1st of the month, but a lot of the stuff, again, tied into that will be gone. Now, also, they dropped this banner here, okay? This banner's up from the 4th to the 17th. Again, something else ending at that time. And really, I wouldn't look too deep into this, but we're going to kind of speculate for a minute. But what kind of happened here was this banner popped up alongside this banner coming up soon, in a couple of days here, well, tomorrow actually, but anyways, alongside this banner. And basically what's happening here is, since there was not a Zenkai this week is a filler week, so they're trying to recoup any money lost. Basically, typically Zenkais are bi-weekly, but they sometimes now have recently, the last few months, been finding a way to put a Zenkai on the same release as a character, so you just have to spend more that week, basically, if you care about spending money on Zenkais. I mean, if you're a content creator, sure. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend it. Anyways, that being said, so this is why, right? That's why the superhero banner, or not superhero, excuse me, Super Broly banner came back, blah, blah. So speaking of superhero, I know that that's the most important thing people are kind of looking for, and I know that's where your mind initially goes to, and you can kind of speculate that Broly's banner coming and going right before some sort of superhero content would make a lot of sense as well. So bear with me, we're going to talk about that for a minute here. So Superhero is starting to become, if you've been playing for a while, Superhero is starting to become what Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta was for a while, where it's like, oh, every campaign, is this the time? Is this the time? Is this the time? Gogeta's thing dragged on for a long time, though. Anyways, moving on. So, is it Superhero? Is that possible? Sure, it is. Now, I think a lot of people have the end of the year stuff more so because we're in October. It's technically the end of the year almost, right? But I think more people have the end of the year stuff marked towards like that Black Friday period and then moving on to New Year's, right? Not really October/Halloween. So let's see what kind of has popped up in this same type of time slot over the last couple of years. So a couple of years ago in 2020 on the 27th of October, we had this banner release, and I believe this was the first rerun of Vegito Blue or something like that. That was probably what was happening here. I think this Goku also got his Zenkai, but whatever. So this is kind of what's happening here in this time period a couple of years ago. And the banner directly before this was, I think, a step up for Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 alongside Green Goku Black at the end of September. So there wasn't really anything towards the 15th, 17th range like we're looking for this month. Now, last year, things were a little bit earlier. So on the 12th of October last year, we got this Cell release here. So the point is, this is really out of left field. It's not like an anniversary. It's not like Black Friday / that type of year Legends Festival stuff where we know they're holding campaigns, where we know kind of what they're doing. They're just doing random stuff over the last couple of months here, including the Powerful Opponent campaign, and they're kind of still doing the same thing. Now, I theorize that superhero content could come out on this game and also by extension on Dokkan around the time of the Blu-ray release. Now, since that theory came out, the Blu-ray release has been confirmed to be December 7th. Now, I guess technically you could release superhero content and have it be like a part 1, part 2, and have it extend that far out, things like that. But I'm also really skeptical of superhero just because of all the movie stuff. Like, normally when we see a lot of stuff for one grouping, it's like, oh, well, that means that they're going to be getting, especially like around celebrations, and this has been the case for years. If they start dropping a bunch of movie stuff just before a celebration, that means that the celebration is going to be movies. They did this for years, going all the way back to the first anniversary. And one of the more recent examples is right before the third anniversary. It's like, are we getting SS4 Gogeta? Everyone's like, hey, he's the most obvious character, right? I'm saying this. And then we start getting a bunch of GT stuff. It's GT Zenkai after GT Zenkai after GT Zenkai. LFSS4 is in there. It's like, okay, seriously. And then the 2-year anniversary, but Future was garbage. And they gave Future so much stuff leading up to the anniversary and then in the anniversary. It's like, okay, we know it. So like, normally I would say that, yeah, we're getting more movie stuff, but the problem is we kind of just did, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just dropped an Ultra here on a team that, by the way, also already had an Ultra, and they dropped Cooler. So like, this type of stuff makes me think that they're done with movies, right? But when you see stuff like this Broly banner, I don't know. And then they've been dropping Zenkais. I mean, like, seriously, are they really going to give this team more characters? I don't know. Unless they're going to do something like the Sword of Hope Trunks, where the characters like Gohan are restricted to, like, hybrids or whatever, which people will not like. Movies is just going to get out of hand. So I'm skeptical. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it would make the most sense in terms of game balance, which they definitely don't care about. But I would like to think they wouldn't put more powerful characters on the team that features 2 Ultras already. Moving on from that, again, superhero is a possibility, but I think it's a lot of people are just gonna write it off. I think it's actually a stronger possibility than you would think, just because, like I said, they don't typically announce campaigns around this time, and they also don't typically try to hide what it is. And I think that those two things would lead to the possibility of it actually being that, right? And if that's the case, it's also, by the way, possible that it just happens leading up to like Black Friday, and then by the time Black Friday comes around and then New Year's and Legends Festival, we get different stuff. Who's to say that it lasts that long, for months, and it extends that far out? Maybe we just get like some banner with like Ultimate Gohan and Ultimate Piccolo, and they call it a day and save, Beast for later. Like, who knows? Maybe they save him for next year. Who knows? It's possible. Things could be spread out in some weird fashion. I don't know. But that's just more or less kind of how I'm feeling about superhero right now. And I wanted to discuss that first because I know that's the first thing people are looking for. Now, what else could it be? Oh, I had this banner up. Oh, hold on. I meant to show you guys this in my video where I talked about the banners in this game a few weeks ago. Look at this banner. This is like a interesting banner, dude. 4 characters, 2 EXs, 2 Sparkings, 999. Look at you. Where you been? Where you been? Actually, no, we got higher drops now, but still interesting banner considering the amount of characters we get a lot of times now. All right, moving on. What else could it be? So another thing it could be that I think, I don't know how many people are thinking this, is it could just be an announcement for another campaign. It really could, you know. Now a campaign, for the record, similar to the Powerful Opponent campaign. I'm not saying like a, you know, a superhero campaign or like, you know, whatever, right? And by the way, when stuff like this happens, my mind also goes to, well, what are other games doing, or what other big milestones are happening for Dragon Ball, like in terms of, you know, the product or something like that. I mean, my mind also goes to the fact that Dai is finally ending, so maybe something happens with the anime, which, you know, it's coming back eventually, right? But I don't know if that would tie into the game or what that would mean for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little too soon for this game to start thinking about that. But like, my mind goes to all these different avenues. But one thing I'll say is a possible campaign similar to the Powerful Opponent. Like, it could be really for anything. It just kind of depends how long it would be, how far they would like it to extend out. For example, I already kind of talked about movies, so I really hope it's not that. But what about GT? I mean, we got this Super 17 that recently released. Maybe Super 17 is a tie-in to more GT stuff, right? People have been saying that a lot recently, and my thought process is that I need to see more than just Super 17 releasing and saying, oh yeah, we're definitely getting more GT stuff somewhere towards the end of the year. Again, whether it's a campaign that leads up to Legends Festival, which is, again, a couple of months out, it's kind of hard to think it would go that far, or if it goes to Black Friday and then something else is for Legends Festival, or maybe there's a part, because like Black Friday Legends Festival, for example, can be really different stuff. We go back to 2020, it was Black Friday was the UI Goku and Jiren and all that stuff, the original UI Goku, and then it was Gogeta SS Blue and LF Broly for, you know, the new year. So it could be different stuff. Anyways, GT could, though, get something here. And, you know, I think that people are looking for those hyper days, you know, where I'm saying like Legends Festival or whatever, to see if we get better stuff then, obviously. But if we just get characters, that's fine, too. I'm okay with it happening, you know, at the end of this month. Now, the thing is, the next announcement for the next LF, I know we just got an Ultra, right? And that's kind of weird. I need to go back and double check when the previous Summonable Ultra stuff came out, how long it took to get the next LF. But we should be getting an LF around the middle of this month, and that could be extended out a few days or whatever because this announcement, or maybe they just skipped the monthly LF. I don't think they've ever really done that, but we'll see what happens, right? That's another thing to consider. But what if it's a GT campaign? Things that come to mind are characters we don't have, like Universal Spirit Bomb Goku, or maybe people are looking for like a tag SS4 Goku and Vegeta. You know, those are things that are on the table overall. Also, another thing to consider too is the family teams, right? What's up with the family teams? The family teams could also warrant getting some sort of campaign centered around one of these teams, or either both of them, or whatever the case is. Just kind of, again, depends how long it is, but not really worth talking about too much. But just the family teams have kind of been left on the side. And the last team I want to kind of spotlight here, that is actually kind of a team that they love buffing, but they love giving characters to, and typically stronger characters too. Obviously the teams, you know, they have some good pieces now, but they're not the best team in the game, and that's Future. So what if it is a Future campaign as well? This is what I'm talking about when I say it could just be another campaign similar to Powerful Opponent, because you got to remember, with the Powerful Opponent campaign, that was also the first time they did something like that too, right? They had never revealed characters in a campaign fashion like that, similar to, like, you know, Fighters DLC and stuff, right? they've done kind of similar things, but nothing to that extent. So it could really just be a slew of characters with another campaign. But one thing is for sure, I think that things are really going to start heating up leading up to the end of the year. That's the thing, is even if this stuff doesn't extend that far out, I think that typically around the middle of this month to the end of this month, and then the beginning middle portion of next month, you kind of have a little bit of a reprieve. You kind of don't really get too much, because they don't really like to bombard you with back to back big banners a lot of the times, and they kind of do the same around anniversary, kind of give you a little bit of a break, kind of die down, not really too much going on. It's kind of what this week is, really, to be honest. But like, you know, so I'm curious as to what they're doing, but I think things will be heating up for basically the end of the year after this starts. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, let me know what you think is coming. I'll see you all next time.